During one of the webinars I held for parents last year on how to give their children a reading culture, one man in attendance mentioned that the wife binge reads romantic novels. Now, as someone who had been there, I began to think about the possible ways that binge reading romantic novels could affect mothers. I'll get back to that. Hi, I'm Ngozi Okure. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this channel, we celebrate books and reading, and we discuss how we can leverage reading for success in life. Please subscribe to my channel, and if you can give me a thumbs up, that would be amazing. Now, in today's video, we will be discussing the trap of romantic novels, how binge reading romance can affect mothers. Yes, how binge reading romantic novels can affect mothers. And recently in my videos, I've been discussing the need for us to read more, especially parents, right? And the need for us to give our children a reading culture. And we have identified the various categories of books that we should pay attention to. We said it's important to read books on faith. We say reading the Bible amounts to rubbing minds with God, and nobody rubs mind with God and remains small in life. We equally talked about the need for us to read books on healthy living. We say that our health is our greatest wealth. Now, when a person loses his health, he has lost so much, okay? So we say that nobody, when it comes to health, nobody will do your push-ups for you. You're the one that will have to discover the things you need to do on a daily basis to live healthy. We only talked about reading books on personal development, and we say that you owe it to the world, you owe it to yourself and to the world to present the best version of you. We said that there is a big difference between formal education and personal education. Long after formal education ends, you should continue with personal education. Okay, so we looked at how you can empower yourself in your career by reading the relevant books. Now, I haven't talked about that. We want to look at romantic novels. How about reading romantic novels? What are the pros and the cons? Now, as someone who has spent a lot of my time reading romantic novels, I want to believe that any mother who reads romantic novels is a lot better than a mother who doesn't read anything at all. One, romantic novels helps people, okay? People who read it to relax. It helps them to unwind, okay? When they come back from work and maybe they have been stressed all day, they just pick their novels and they escape to their fantasy world. It has a way of relaxing them and helping them to unwind, okay? Now, the next thing is that anyone who reads will always be better in communication skills than people who do not read. A person who reads will be a better writer and a better speaker than someone who does not read, okay? Now, having said that, I want to say that reading or binging on romance has some implications. It has some negative consequences that we need to pay attention to. Now, the very first one is that reading romantic novels has a way of presenting a false narrative. Yes, most of the things we read in romantic novels are ideals. A lot of things are idealized, and it makes some people to begin to have unrealistic expectations. So by the time you read, oh, when he came into the room and he touched me, I began to see the stars and the moon, and the person comes in and her husband touches her and she doesn't begin to feel all those things. He begins to wonder, is my own really good? Am I really experiencing what other people are experiencing? It leads to unhealthy competitions and disappointment, which shouldn't be. Okay, so it's important for you to realize that a lot of the things presented in romantic novels are ideals. And I think they taught us in school that ideal is a set standard. Ideal is not reality. Most of those things are fantasies. And it's so important to leave them at that realm and enjoy your life without comparing endlessly with the characters in your romantic novels. Now, the next thing is the time management. I told you I'm used to binge on romantic novels. Those things can be very compelling. They can be so thrilling. You see, when I was into reading romance, you could binge all day because you want to turn to the next page to know what happened. And very good writers of this romance, they can hold you in suspense. They can literally captivate you into spending hours and hours and hours reading their book. But then if you're a mother, you know that when you're doing more of one thing, you can only be doing less of another thing. And if you have children to give self-care, you have your work to attend to, you have the home to attend to, and even yourself, your own self-care, you need to take care of yourself. If your time is not well allocated, if you spend a lot of time binge reading those things, it will impact on your productivity. It will impact so much on the impact you should be making with your children. Parenting is a lot of work. You need to invest a lot of time talking with the children, explaining things and attending to them. But if much of this time is spent reading romantic novels, then you know that you have to think again and re-strategize and prioritize your time. The next negative consequence of binge reading romantic novels is that, you see, children look up to their mothers. I remember one day, a group of people were talking somewhere. I overheard my first daughter say, "My mother is my greatest role model." And she began to tell them why. Okay, she began to explain to them why her mother is her greatest role model. So every child looks up to the mother, and you should be able to, whatever you do, know that the children are watching. The values, based on the values you want to live for your children, do you really think that reading a lot of romance-based literature is a very good example for them? Right? Okay, so it's important that you examine the values that you have set for your children, the values you want to live for them. And if you think that reading a lot of romance is not going to be a positive example for them, then you might need to think again and begin to read, okay, the things that will align with the values that you have set up for your children. Okay, yeah, parenting or motherhood is such a beautiful privilege, and we should do it in a way that we should be able to invest good time, lay good examples for the children, because very soon they are growing, the rate at which they grow so fast. So you should be able, while you have them, make as much impact in their lives as you can with the time that you have. Okay, God bless you. I want to believe that you've got value in this video, and if you did, I want you to subscribe to my channel and share this video, share the link with some other person who might be able to gain value from it as well. Till I come your way next time, keep reading.